Hi, everybody. How are you all doing today? All right. Let me pull up my notes. Give me 1 second. I hope everyone's having a really awesome Friday. I am really glad it's Friday. And Happy New Year if you celebrate, if you are practicing Jew. My husband is Jewish, and so it is the Jewish New Year. So Happy New Year. I hope you're having a great week. If you were not here yesterday, I'm just going to reintroduce myself. My name is Morgan. I'm the owner and founder of Futera Jewelry. I'm really excited to start with day 2 of our workshop, designing a awesome jewelry collection that your customers will love. Let me get going. And if you guys have just some house cleaning, if you can't hear me, please let me know in the comments if my audio is weird. Let me know. And then also, if you come up with any questions, please put them in the chat and I will answer them at the end because your question might even get answered during the course of this little presentation. So just in case you can't find me, I'm down here in the bottom, and I'll hopefully you can see me okay. But yeah, all right. So starting with day 2. So yesterday, well, we'll go over yesterday in a minute, but today I'm going to teach you how to think like a designer when you're creating your jewelry instead of like a photographer. And I know you might be thinking, is it really that different? But there are some small differences that are pretty important. So I want to kind of shine a light on these. So again, stick with me to the end because we have another homework assignment and this will get you one step closer to winning a free piece of jewelry. So stick with me to the end and we'll learn all about it, and it's pretty fun too. So, all right, let's get started. So just to go over everything one more time, in workshop 1, we talked about the process of choosing the best photos, art pieces, images to create your photo jewelry collection from. And if you are just joining us today and you didn't get to see day 1, that's okay. Stay here, don't leave. Just go ahead and watch it after this and you'll be caught up, and it's totally okay. You can still do today without watching yesterday. It's okay. So stick with me. And then, so I shared with you how this is going to help you kind of pare down choosing your images, because now you know what kinds of images work really well when creating your jewelry collection. So in that lesson, let's review just really fast what we learned. So we went over the 5 rules to follow when you are choosing your photo. So you want to look for vibrancy. You want to look for simple scenes. You want to aim for some silhouette. Silhouette is fun. Silhouette is nice, but at least some contrast between your subject and the background. And we gave you a quick guide for portrait photography, which definitely watch yesterday's workshop if you did not catch that, because it goes into a little more detail. So definitely check that out. So today, like I said, we're going to build off of what we learned yesterday. And in the next step, we're going to work towards making this jewelry collection happen. So it's going to be a pretty new way of thinking. There's going to be some aspects of it that you know, some aspects are going to be new. And so get out some notes and let's head into lesson 2. So how to think like a designer. So we're gonna think like a designer when we're creating our jewelry collection, not like a photographer. And when you know how to do this, you'll know exactly what to design and how to design it. So the goal is to break you free of any pre-learned composition rules that you learned in photography or in your art schooling, anything that, because this is going to be kind of a different approach. So yeah. So before we dive into the elements of design, we have to get you to stop thinking like a photographer, like I said, and we're going to unlearn some rules of composition. So, and this also, this is photography. This also pertains to painting, art, any sort of visual art. So the three areas of a photo, you have the foreground, what's up in the front, up here, the midground right here, and then you got the background, right? So this makes a really nice, and of course you can break this rule. A lot of people break this rule, but this is a nice basic composition rule. So when you go in to design a jewelry piece, just totally forget it. It's better for our teeny tiny jewelry pieces to just focus on the subject or choose the area to focus on. So, like I said in the previous lesson, images that are too busy just don't read very well on our teeny tiny jewelry pieces. So think about what is the point of your image that you're making? What is that area? What is the emotion that you're trying to evoke? And where is that focus go to? So think about that when you are looking at your images and you are trying to figure out what to focus on when you go in to design your jewelry. And also, just drawing from the previous slide, you don't have to focus on everything. You don't have to include everything to evoke an emotion, to get your audience to understand what you are taking a picture of or what the picture is, if that makes sense. It's better, you can find the most interesting areas and you're still going to get that emotional response from your audience. They're going to get it. They're smarter than you think. So think about what areas are the most interesting. How can we put those into the jewelry piece, this teeny tiny jewelry piece? So for example, this image, it doesn't really have a subject, or it has multiple subjects kind of spread out. It doesn't really have a thing. So I chose, when I went in to design these pieces, I moved my design tool around, and I just kind of found that really interesting area that where it still had that, it evoked that misty quality, and you could see, okay, I grabbed part of that mountain on the end there, and you can still tell what it is, but I didn't try to fit the entire image into that shape and that tiny jewelry piece. So next we're going to talk about the elements of design. And so this is not everything. I've just chosen a few. So the basic elements are line, shape, space, size, and color. So we're going to go through all of these one by one to see how the principles can help you create something amazing. So first, line and pattern. Lines are best used in a design for separating and creating space between the elements, and also to provide focus. To kind of, like, for example, you're focusing on that curve. So I love how Kelly, one of our Fotera photographer members, put this design together. It's such an effective use of line. And I love that it emphasizes that shape. I'm actually wearing these earrings today. I wear these earrings a lot because I love them so much. But it really emphasizes the shape, that wave, the crescent shape of the jewelry. And it just draws your attention and just makes it that much more interesting, really. And I love how all the lines angle towards the middle. And I also added the element of pattern here because the palm trees have that striped, it kind of creates that striped pattern of the green, black, green, black, green, black. So pattern, line, they kind of go hand in hand. They can go hand in hand. They don't always. But yeah, I just think this is such a great example of a really smart use of line and pattern. So shape. We have a lot of shapes here at Protera. And sometimes this can be really overwhelming. So when you go into design, I just experiment. You can go in with an idea, but I always say, don't get married to it because you never know. Things might change. And also, sometimes designers will submit multiple like shapes, multiple designs using the same photo, and we end up, going with one. We'll like, I'll ask the girls and be like, "What should we choose?" And we'll vote. So yeah, it's kind of fun for us too. But go in, experiment, go in with using these principles when you go in to look at these shapes. So space. So space is used to separate or group an element. It gives it it gives it the area importance. So, for example, the main focus of this image is that lighthouse, and it mimics that space, and it's creating that empty space with the blue. So it really emphasizes that lighthouse as well. So yeah, when you think about space, like sometimes empty space is the most effective way to emphasize what you are trying to draw focus to. And as a photographer and an artist, this is an element I think you use a lot. But when you go into design a piece like this, you think about how you can use the shape along with the space as well. So kind of drawing those elements together. Size. So this is important, especially when you have a lot going on in a photo. So when choosing a shape, keep in mind that the size of the shape and the elements of your image need to kind of work together. So simpler images can use smaller, narrower shapes, and more complex images require larger shapes. You need those larger shapes. So as you can see here, we were able to do both with we call it the mini wave and the big wave. So we were able to do both of these designs, the same image in both of these designs. Because it is a very simple image, it's broken down. You can tell, okay, that's a coastline. And so we were able to do that. And then color. So color can affect a mood, and it can, sometimes feelings are assigned to color. So it's important to think about that when you are designing a piece. And I mean, also, when you're going in to edit your photography or paint your work, because it can really be meaningful. But color can also put emphasis on important areas of a design. And this also kind of brings back, it brings back line and pattern as well. So this piece is another good example of how patterns can be made using color, and how also the pattern can mimic the shape, that round shape, like it did in this example here. So when you're thinking about line, when you're thinking about color, think about all these things and how it can go together along with the shape, along with, how can you marry these things? So going into color, color can be trending. So they can be a popular color. So I don't know how many of you have heard of Pantone, but they are kind of the people who they forecast what is going to be the most popular color in fashion, in design. You might have heard of them before, but if you haven't, definitely go to the website Pantone. I think it's Pantone.com, and I'll put it up at the end here and check out what the color is of the year. So, like I said, it can inspire emotion, but it can also just be what's popular. So, it's not science, and sometimes they're really wrong, but I think this is kind of fascinating. I put these out at the end of 2014, and this was our most popular design in 2015. It was not on purpose at all, but people were really drawn to this because this is what this color was trending that year. And then again, our most popular design in 2019 and our most popular design in 2020. Not on purpose at all, but it just sort of happened that way. But it's nice to think about, it's nice to know about. So if you I would definitely go check out their website and just see what is trending, the color trend report. So I mean, I wouldn't put all of your designs into that bubble, into the Pantone bubble. But it's nice to know, like, oh, hey, that worked out really nicely because it's trending right now. Um, so yeah. So now that we've gone through the basic elements of design, it's not everything, but those are the basic things to keep in mind. Um, we're just going to go over them really fast. So first, oh, sorry. Sorry, my notes got away from me. So let's do a quick review. So we learned about line, shape, space, size, and color. And if you want to rewatch this, I'm going to be sending tomorrow morning, or actually, am I going to send it tonight? I can't remember, but I will be sending out the rewatch of this, and I think it immediately goes again, both in the Facebook group and on YouTube. So you can just rewatch this if you need to check this out one more time. But yeah, I hope that this is kind of opens you up to a different way of thinking about design, about thinking about how you approach uh, when you create a product, as opposed to when you create a photo that is blown up, made big. It's a little different. It's a little different when you're working with these elements of shape surrounding your photograph, if that makes sense. So I want to open this up for questions. I'm just going to check. If you guys have any questions about that, please let me know. You can just put them in the chat and I'll check back in a minute. But I want to share with you your next homework assignment. So I want to say, first, I want to say thank you so much to the people who participated in the Facebook group. That was really nice to see. It was great to see who's there. One, I love to know who the heck is watching this. It's really, really cool to see your artwork. And if you haven't posted your photos, don't worry, it's not too late. Go ahead and go do that. We're going to be, I'm going to be helping you guys out through the weekend. I kind of extended the deadline because there are people joining a little late. And I got a few DMs asking, you know, oh, is it too late? Should I just not do this? And I was like, no, join. So yeah, no, please continue putting your artwork in the Facebook group. Sending it to me privately if you're feeling a little shy, that's okay. I got a few people doing that. But I think it's always good to put it in the group if you can, just because one, it's nice to see, like, especially if you're the one to take that first step, it kind of gives the next person a little courage to do it too. And I think everybody learns a little bit by seeing examples of what other people are doing and getting the feedback of, yes, this will work. No, this might not work. So please post in the group. Yeah, it'll help you and everyone else out. So I want to go over homework assignment number 2. You are going to get a chance to design a piece yourself. So I'm going to post a link in the chat here. I'm just going to go and copy this link. And then I'm going to share my screen. So just give me a second. All right, I'm going to post this link in the group, and I'm also going to share this in the Facebook group, so you'll see it there. But if you are live, just go ahead and click on that link. And then I'm going to share with you. Oops, I need to unshare my screen. Stop sharing. Hi. Oh, and then somebody asked yesterday, like, where the heck are you? This is our studio. This is where everything is made. So over here, we have a little storefront. That's where, we have a little storefront in the front. Makers back here, they've all gone home today. So yeah, this is where the magic happens. And like I said, I'm wearing these earrings today. I love them and I wear them all the time. But back to sharing my screen. Sorry, give me 1 second while I figure this out. Let's see. All right. If you cannot see my screen, please let me know. Oops. Let me get rid of that. I'm going to scoot this over. All right. So this is basically, I'm going to reload that. So this is a test product that I've made for you guys, and you can submit this to us. You can go ahead and add to cart and check out, and it's free. We will not send you any jewelry though, but we might if you win our prize, we might send it to you. But basically, I'm just going to go over how you design, and this is how you design your jewelry when you become a member as well. So basically, you're going to upload your photo, and you're going to choose your file here. And let's see. Actually, we're working on a project for the, the Art Institute of Chicago right now. And so this was an experimental piece I sent them for their Picasso. I don't think we're going to be doing their Picasso exhibition, but I think we're going to do another one. So anyway, so what you do is you can design this in real time. You can move around your screen and kind of choose the area that you decide you want to emphasize on. So I'm going to pull it really tight, and I'm going to emphasize on this middle part here. And I want to square those eyeball looking things. Kind of reminds me of a Muppet. So I'm going to say, yeah, I love that. And I'm going to click the check box. So there's my little Muppet. And then I'm going to choose a file for the back of my card. And I'm going to choose that same image. And I'm going to say, I think I want that top area to show a little more. Yeah, I like that. All right, and check. And so this is exactly what the jewelry will look like when it's done. A little more translucent. It's hard to show the translucency here digitally, but this is essentially what it's going to look like. And then the other nice thing that you can do is you can choose the quote that you want to go with this. And I think, let's see, I like make waves. Because this piece is definitely going to make some waves. And then when you're done, you can add it to the cart. And once you're there, it might take a minute because sharing my screen. Oh, item added to cart. Cool. Go up to the cart, and you can go check this out. So you can go through the process. I'm not going to do that because it is annoying while I'm sharing my screen, but it's not annoying in general. And yeah, so it's as simple as that. So I hope you guys submit a bunch of designs. I mean, well, submit 1 or 2, but I hope I see a bunch of designs come through from people. Yeah, definitely. And then when you're done, you can either take a screenshot of it and share it in the group and show people what you designed, and I can give you real-time feedback, or you can download the preview in the checkout section Here, actually, I'll show you where you can download that. I'll share my screen one more time. So let's see, preview. Click here to view. So you can take a screenshot of that and share that in the group. So yeah, definitely continue to share in the group. I am super excited to see what you guys design. But yeah, let me pull my slides back up and give me 1 second. Get back there. So yeah. So what's next? So we've learned how to choose our photos. And today we learned how to turn those photos into jewelry through the elements of design. And in the next lesson, I'm going to show you the entire process, which is the last step, which is how to validate your design with your customers. And I really, really hope you show up to the next one, because I think that this is probably the most valuable lesson in this entire series, because it's the most actionable, and because this is something that you can use in your business over and over and over again. So even if you decide to not continue working with me, this is something that you will be able to do all the time. So anyway, I want you to show up live. It's a great lesson. I use this technique that I'm going to teach you all the time at Fotera. And yeah, I don't want to go. You'll learn it tomorrow. Anyway, but you're going to walk away with so much clarity too about how all of this fits together. And yeah, I'm very excited. So if you are a landscape photographer, artist who wants to grow your business with digital print products, this will give you these 3 lessons will give you the exact blueprint pretty much to validate, to design, to validate, and to rinse and repeat. Yeah, so in the next workshop, it's going to be all about equipping you for long-term success. Once you have these 3 elements together, you're good to go. So I hope you take action and do your homework. I feel like my middle school teacher, do your homework. But just by learning what we covered here today, you are one step closer to growing your photography and your art business. So, and that's pretty exciting. So if you, I just want you to think about this for just a second before we go, but if you were able to grow your business, what would that look like for you? Would you finally be able to quit your day job? Would you be able to devote yourself to your art fully? Or is it as simple as the ease of knowing that there's just a little bit more income coming in? Sometimes that's enough. And whatever your reasons, I just want you to know that you're on the right path, and you should be excited about that. So take what you learned today, start putting it into practice, and go do your homework. And tomorrow I'll share the final step in putting all of this together, and I will see you then. I'm so excited. And again, if you guys have any questions, just ask them below this video and I'm happy to answer. All right, bye for now.